Hi, my name's Nooper, if you don't already know, and this is Mark.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mark, office manager at Fact Professional. Good to see you all.
Yeah. So we
Ready?
got a bunch of, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're on.
Oh, well, we had a bunch of questions after we sent the first video about the stimulus check. And so we wanted to see if we could address more of those questions. And Mark is here to kind of let me know when I'm getting a little too technical and add into whatever we're saying. So hope this helps clear things up. Anything you wanted to add to that?
You might be starting seeing right now inside of your accounts. I hear everybody getting a lot of checks deposited
Yes.
today. They started on Saturday, and they were supposed to be hitting a lot of them this week. But I mean, I'm getting emails and texts from people that are saying they got their stimulus deposits today. So that's a good thing, real good thing.
Exactly.
And hopefully we can help just to explain to you a little more who's going to qualify, who may not qualify, and those that even didn't qualify before, what they can do now. There's a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Believe it
Yeah.
or not, it's fun stuff to us. Believe it or not, somehow we find this stuff
Very exciting.
fun. We find this stuff fun.
Well, it's about money, so it's like it's going to be kind of exciting.
It
All
is.
right, cool. So
Let's see your PowerPoint.
all right, perfect. Yeah, it's beautiful PowerPoint. Okay, stimulus check. I want my money. Okay, that was not from the beginning.
I think it went backwards.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, here you go.
Perfect. All right. So again, this is a stimulus check that should be coming from the government. There's a lot of stipulations on how much, where it's coming from, how they're going to be sending that out. So let's get started.
Yeah.
Do I have to file my 2019 tax return to get my check? So today's the day of the deadline, usually, and a lot of clients are still worried about whether or not they need to file a 2019 tax return. We've been getting a lot of calls about that, saying that I won't get my check until I file my 2019, right?
Exactly. We're getting a lot of phone calls. People still think that right now. And so the extensions happened. The extension been pushed out towards, is it June 15th, right? Or July? It was June.
We have till July 15th to get everything.
Yeah. We're encouraging everybody to file your taxes as soon as possible, so that you can have that extra money from your returns coming in, as well as this. You want to get it for your stimulus check as well.
That's a good point, is that if you are getting a refund, why not file now? And our office is still operating, so you can file now. But if you if you are going to owe money, I definitely think it's worth it to push it back. But if you're worried that you won't get your check because you haven't filed 2019, that's not the case. You need to have filed either 18 or 19. Now, if you haven't filed either, then yes, that is a problem. So we do recommend filing your return for 19 if you haven't filed either 18 or 19. The IRS does have something on their portal, but I don't know. Last time I checked it, it didn't really work. So I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to test it out yet? Our receptionist mentioned it.
Did it go live? It was supposed to go live today, I believe.
It was supposed to go live. It didn't look like it was actually directing anybody in the right place yet. So we'll have to wait on that once they get that up and running.
The tax relief. Go ahead. Sorry.
All right. No, you're good. You're good.
Talking out loud.
All right. So how much will I get? This depends. A lot of people think it's just going to be $1,200, which is not the case. And some people think that everyone's going to get $1,200. And I wish that was the case. But it's going to depend on a lot of different factors. So Mark and I here are single. So what we're looking at is the qualified income level. So if you make 75K or less, if you're single, then you'll be getting the full $1,200. However, after that, it'll start to phase out. And then if you're head of household, which means if you are filing as single and you claimed at least one dependent, then the phase out will start at $112,500. And then if you're married filing joint, it's going to phase out after $150K. Does that make sense?
Now you're saying phase out. What are we talking about phase out? I mean, it goes down from the 1,200 to, what was it?
It'll go down. So this is based on your adjusted gross income on your tax return. So it's not after your mortgage, interest, and everything else. It's just going to be after your capital gains and losses, stock losses, that sort of thing. But the phase out means that, let's say you made $75,001. It'll marginally decrease until
Okay.
it completely phases out. Yeah.
And also for like the married filing joint, does that mean a combined of 50,000 each, 150,000 or 150,000 total, or
They've said 150,000 total.
okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do think that while there's a lot of Americans who will benefit from this, I feel like there's a lot of people who will be way over this threshold and won't get anything from this at all. So, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks. But at least they're sending something out. All right. So I don't have any kids, but I wish I could adopt somebody right now because you will be
Right.
getting, I don't know if it'll benefit in terms of the amount of money you'll be getting, but you will be getting $500 for each child under 17. Now, one thing that if your kid is over 17 and, oh, there you go. If your kid's over 17, and they were in a situation where they made a small amount of money, maybe working at some summer job, what we are recommending is to not claim them as your dependent, and to file them separately, because the benefit you get for them will only be $500. But if they file on their own, they'll be getting $1,200 back.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But if your child is over 17, you won't be getting anything back for them. Cool. All right.
Cool. Good stuff. Very straightforward.
So, will my check come immediately after I file my tax return? So I had a few clients who were going, hey, I need my return filed now, because the second that I file my return, the IRS is going to issue the check. And I wish that the IRS was that efficient, but it's not. So the IRS is, as we said, they're already rolling out payments right now. Starting this week, they started that process. But they will be aiming to issue out most of the checks, or at least the direct deposits, within the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
If you've gotten direct deposit. If you haven't, then that's the issue that's going to come up. Yeah.
And many of those, they got already getting their Social Security as well. Those have their bank direct deposit info, so those are all impacted as well, that they're going to get direct deposits too, right?
The people who have Social Security?
They mentioned something about that. If you're already going to be receiving Social Security, or you're receiving your retirement benefits, and all those have your direct deposit information already, then that should be able to help you out too.
That's a good point. So one of the things with Social Security, and we have it a little later, but it's great that you brought it up now so we can talk about it. So Social Security, a lot of people who receive only Social Security income don't file their tax return because they don't have to. A lot of our clients choose to do so, but we always remind them that you don't have to if it's your only type of income. But they do not need to file a tax return. They should already be getting that stimulus check.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Cool. Good point. All right.
Cool.
So that was the next slide.
Go ahead.
There it is. So no, it's perfect. I love it. So yes, if you filed a tax return or received a 1099 SSA, that's the form for Social Security, then you will receive a check. Yes. All right. Cool.
Right.
Keep going forward. If I owe taxes, will I still get a check? Now, a lot of clients who have garnishments, back taxes, installment agreements, they're wondering if they'll still get a check, or if the taxes will offset, if the stimulus check will offset taxes that were due in the past. So,
as far as I know, it's not, right?
Correct.
I know that the one thing that I saw yesterday, that I read about yesterday, that they're trying to find a workaround, if they're able to do it, which is may impact some people, is that if your account is overdrawn, it's still going to eat that up. And they're trying to come up with something they can do to work with the banks. But if you do have an overdrawn account,
right,
and your deposit happens, it's going to eat it up. And
right.
I don't know about the other question as far as garnishments or those things. I don't think it affects those, but I think that it only affects like an overdrawn account.
Right. No, it's a good point. No, thanks for bringing that up. I haven't read that detail in terms of, going back. I haven't read that detail in terms of whether their account's been overdrawn, but I do know that what they have mentioned is that if you, the purpose of this check in itself is to kind of stimulate the economy and get people back up and running. So even if they have back taxes, garnishments, other taxes that are due, the IRS has decided to still issue that amount out. Mm-hmm. So they will not be applying it. And it's really because this isn't considered, we'll get to this a little later, but it's not considered taxable income. It's not offsetting federal income taxes. So
true.
yeah, but that's a good point. I know that a lot of Americans right now they're going through situations where we don't have a lot in our bank accounts, especially if someone's not working. So
Yeah, the
challenging
only one I
times.
read about was for as far as the banks overdrawn, but the other ones I don't know. Maybe they'll come on the next few days or something. It's changing daily.
It is changing daily. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So do I still get a check if I don't have income in 2019? Yes, even if you don't have income or substantial income, and you normally wouldn't need to file, we definitely recommend filing it just so you can get that stimulus check. And I said we're still filing tax returns. We're very blessed that we're able to still be up and running right now. So we do recommend to file as soon as possible.
Definitely,
Yeah, yeah,
definitely.
yeah. The team's running, trying to get it done as quick as possible. All right. What if I'm showing a business loss in 2019?
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So if you're in the same position, if your adjusted gross income is under the criteria limit of that 75K, under 12,500, 150K, you will still be getting a stimulus check or direct
yeah,
deposit to your account. Yeah.
good.
Cool. All right. This is the situation with your
Mm,
nephew that we're trying to clear up actually is that
right.
yeah, that if he's claimed as a dependent, he will not get that check.
This is a great question. I think that may come up with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I do have a friend who's, uh, I want to say older. I don't want to say older. He's only like 51, 52, but he's on disabled right now, and he's in the
Yeah.
process of a lawsuit. Well, he lives at home with his parents, and his parents claimed him as a dependent
Mm,
for this year and last year.
yeah.
So, is there anything they're able to do to I don't know. Is there anything they're able to do, or are they just kind of nobody saw this coming in 2018 and
I
19?
know. I
They just
know.
thought, hey, you're a dependent. I'm going to claim you. Nobody
Yeah.
saw it coming. I mean, are they just kind of out of luck, or?
That's a good question. I wish that there was a better answer than unfortunately right now it's kind of like we're out of luck because if we were to amend the tax return and send it to the IRS, usually the IRS takes about 6 to 8 weeks to process a tax return in general. Right now they've said don't mail us anything. We're not going to open up mail. We're not looking at it.
Wow.
So and calling the IRS is a little bit of a lost cause. So right now there has not been a relief for people who are claimed as dependents who, could have potentially received this check. And that's
Mm,
unfortunate. It had happened a little earlier, not to say that, if we had started issuing these checks or looking at it early in the tax season, I think that we wouldn't have been in a situation where so many people had already filed their returns and now don't have time to really evaluate whether they should have been claimed or not claimed as a dependent.
mm,
That makes it hard.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
Bummer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right, that's a good point. How long will it take for my check to be delivered?
Mm,
Yeah.
if you don't have direct deposit, you're going to be waiting for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take a little while. Like we said earlier, the direct deposits started hitting their accounts on Saturday. And
Exactly.
this week is just lots and lots of merger. I'm getting reports from everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that direct deposit, the paper checks are going to take a little while. It could take, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So exactly. They've said, I mean, reading a few articles, they've said that it could take up to 20 weeks. There's a potential it could take longer. I mean, we don't know. And another factor is if they're mailing documents out, if something gets lost in the mail, you may be in a situation where they may take a little while. So hold tight. If you haven't used direct deposit, I'm sure they're going to try to roll out some type of function on the IRS portal so you can add in your information. But for the time being, you're going to have to wait for a paper check. Yeah.
Hmm. And I think it is up and running now. I'm on IRS website right now. It
Oh,
does have,
great.
and the button says "Get My Payment," and it says where you can track your payment. It says you can check your payment status. You can confirm your payment type, whether it's a direct deposit or check.
Good point.
It even says you can enter your bank account information for direct deposit if we don't have your direct deposit information,
Yep.
and we haven't sent your payment yet. So go there right away. It's on the irs.gov site. I don't know if we're able to upload a link or show a link on here. On the top right, as soon as you go on the top right hand corner, it just says "Get Coronavirus Tax Relief," and
Okay.
that
So
should
it's on
walk
like the
right
IRS
through.
main page right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if I can do a link somehow on here, but that'll show you right there to the pages. And then it also has the thing up now where you for non-filers, if you're not a filer, where you can enter your payment info there.
That's
So
good.
it's really good. I think this just went live today. I heard them talking about it yesterday, so it looks like it just went live today.
That's really cool.
So something to really look into, and do the research too. We're here to help as much as we can,
Yeah.
and we're giving you all the information as we get it daily. As we're talking constantly, Gotham and Newbert and myself are constantly, hey, did you see this? This just came out.
Yeah.
But you can also go on the website and you can take a look around too.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the truth is that sensitive information, I mean, I feel like every hour there's new information that's coming out. And I have had a few clients who said, hey, what you were saying yesterday is changed today. And I always appreciate the feedback on that, because I want to make sure that we're giving correct information. And it's great when the staff says, hey, there's something new that came out, so we can try to hopefully let everybody know.
Right.
Yeah. Well, the last thing on here, which I think a lot of people were worried about, is will I be taxed on this check? And so far they've said there's no tax on this check. So
Right.
you don't have to worry about it. This is going to be very similar to what happened in 2008, where there's amounts that were rolled out. This is to stimulate the economy. So there won't be any tax on this check. But on a side note, if you did apply for unemployment through your state's website, that is still considered taxable. I don't think that, I haven't seen any news yet that they'll be waiving that from being taxable. So just keep that in mind.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good stuff. That's good stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah. I hope that helps everybody. Oh, this one, I had one more.
This is extremely important. Yeah.
This one's really important. Actually, I think I have a few more slides. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. But we have a little bit more. So one thing that I've been, one of the things that they've been saying is that they're going to be giving this check to help American citizens. But there's so many people in this country who live here, who've lived here for so long, and who aren't citizens yet, and maybe they're green card holders in the process, or they're on a specific visa type. They've said that if you're a non-resident alien or you're on an I-10, that means that you will not be getting a check, unfortunately. And I wish that was not the case, but that's what they've said. But if you are a green card holder, if you've been a resident for a long time, they should still be issuing you that check. Yeah. But I did get one interesting question, which is somebody went from having an I-10 to an SSN, so from 18 to 19, and I did mention to them that it's really important to file the 2019 tax return with your social, so that way it's updated on there.
That's good. Yeah, that's really important. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of people who claim, like, children who have I-10s, and if they've gotten a social now, then they should definitely update it on their 2019 tax return as soon as possible.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nice.
I know. But it sucks that, a lot of people won't be getting it if they're on an I-10. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's really rough, man. It's really rough. There's a lot of people are going to be limited from it. And so those of you that are receiving it, use it to stimulate the economy. Let's get out there and
to keep people going. Yeah.
Spend it on your local small businesses that really need that push, so.
Yes. Now we can all keep going.
Exactly.
All right. I think this was the last one, which is, if you have any questions, you can email it over to info@factprofessional. It does go to the rest of us if there's anything that needs to be escalated or kind of needs a little bit more information. But we're here to help. We're here to answer questions. Right now, we've been getting a lot of calls, and I wish we could answer all the calls at the same time. But if you send us an email, we'll make sure to get back to you as soon as possible, answer everything. Mark, anything to add to that or to go over on that one?
Like Newbert mentioned, we're still fully functional. We've moved all of our staff to working from home. Many of you we've talked with over email or phone calls, and you know this. And thank you for being so patient with us as we got set up. Right. But we're still available. We're still available for tax returns, for the corporate returns. Any of the questions on that? I was even thinking maybe we could do one. The next one we can do one on the unemployment one as well. We're getting a lot of calls on unemployment benefits, and
that's a good point. I like that.
Changes on that. So
I like that.
We're hoping maybe we can do a couple more of these for you in the future. And if you do have any call, I think we did want to mention that, we have a lot of calls coming in, a lot of emails coming in. So the best way would probably be to email, and then we'll respond back to you. We apologize if we don't call back right away. It gets a little backed up sometimes, but we're trying our hardest to keep up with all of you and keep you guys all informed.
Yeah, definitely. Because I know this is a very trying time, and there's so much information out there. We're trying to be a resource because there's so many different articles coming out, so many different perspectives coming out on what's going on. So hopefully this will streamline some things for everybody. That's about it. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay.
This is our first Zoom video for you guys.
Our first Zoom video.
I like it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it. It's nice to see your face instead of just talking by phone all day. All right. Well, thank you, guys. Let me exit this and you have to excuse me as I'm ending this one.
We're learning all of this. We wanted to do these for you guys as well, so you could kind of just see kind of how we go into our discussions and discuss and learn these things and share this information with each other. We wanted to also share with all of you so that you guys can get a better idea and better understanding as well.
Exactly. All right.
Well, thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye, Mark. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Talk to you
Later.
soon. All right. Bye.